All right, hey gang, Nate Bear here, lead technical tactician for Monument Traders Alliance and trade of the day. Before we get any further into today's video, before we look at any charts, before we do anything else, I want to let you know about a special event that I am hosting next week, October 16th through the 20th. We are going to be having an open house. That's right, an open house, 100% free of charge for everybody. So if you're watching this video, if you watch these videos every week, if you took that meta trade that we talked about last week, my goodness gracious, we talked about meta off of 300. If you took that trade last week and you want more trade ideas like that, click the link below, sign up for next week's open house. It is 100% free, and I hope to see you there. All right. So let's take a look at the indexes. Let's take a look at my favorite chart on the planet right here, right now. So let's dive right in. What we talked about last week and what we talk about every week are the QQQ. And what I want to point out, I think is the most important chart on the planet right now. And let me hide these drawings because it's a little bit much. But that is the weekly squeeze that is developing in the QQQ. This sets us up potentially for a run into the end of the year, which is exactly what we've been talking about week after week after week. I know September has been August was a little bit I think that we are setting up for that end of the year run based off of this signal right down here, the weekly squeeze in the Qs. I believe that we can take out these highs and move higher into the end of the year. All right. Now, if we look at the SPY, it doesn't look quite as good. It doesn't look quite as good. We don't quite have a weekly squeeze, but this week, things are starting to look a little bit better in the SPY. We are getting very close to that gap close around 438, 439. That's constructive. You know, if we look back at the Qs, we can note that they've already closed their gap. They've closed their gap. And what we've got to take a look at here too is note how these moving averages are moving back up. This is very bullish action. Okay. Things are looking up. And as far as a new trade setup, you may look at this chart, this is in Microsoft, of the daily chart and say, hey, Nate, well, you always talk about needing a squeeze down here. I don't see any red dots. You're right. But remember what we just looked at, right? The weekly chart of the NASDAQ. Now, if we look at the weekly chart of Microsoft, boy, oh boy, does that look good. And I think Microsoft here is one of those names that's sort of been, resting this quarter. And I think it is gearing up for a run higher into earnings. So Microsoft has earnings coming up on October the 25th, Wednesday, a few weeks out after the close. And I think Microsoft can sort of get in here, take out this trend line and work its way higher up into about 340 to 350 into earnings. Okay. So what I'd like to do is, based off this weekly chart, I would love to try and pick up Microsoft around the 21 EMA on the weekly chart, which is about 322, 323. And if I get that opportunity, what I would then like to do is come out into the week of October 27th. That's when earnings are, right? We just looked at that. October 25th is when the earnings are. I'd like to come out here and pick up like these 340 calls or so around, I'm not sure what the price would be, but probably around $4 if Microsoft were to drop into the 21 EMA around 322. So that's the plan, to buy Microsoft on a dip for a run higher into earnings. And again, let me just reiterate, if you're free next week, even if you're not free, click the link below, sign up, because once we start next week's event, registration has to close. So make sure to sign up. Again, it's 100% free. Click the link, sign up, and I hope to see you guys live and in person all week next week. All right. Have a good one. Talk to you soon.